everyone, it's NonnaGrace. Today is going to be a mishmash chit chat. I might be all over the place with this one because I want to touch on a bunch of different things, that comments maybe that have been made or things that have been brought to my attention, and I just kind of want to talk about it. So we're going to just chit chat today. The first one was, I got a question from Linda, and she wanted to know what currants taste like. Well, currants, when you first start eating them, the first little bit that you put in your mouth, I will have to show you how I eat them. I think I might have in one of my videos, I don't know, way back when. I don't know. I'd have to look it up, but I don't know how to put the things into the corners so that you can find things quickly. But anyways, when you eat currants, the first little bunch is really kind of sour, but as you eat them, they start to taste sweeter. I don't think they have a flavor that I can match to something else, because I think they just have their own flavor as it is. And they, when they come on, I will let you know so that maybe you can look for some currants. The bushes, I'm kind of lucky because currants don't always grow on different lands. I don't know what they need to grow, but I happen to have a bush that was here. And my father used to grow currants, and we used to have them along the road, and we used to stand out there and just eat. I never had to pick currants as a child to go to the factory or anything, because a lot of people complained that it was an awful hard job to do. I never had to do that. I only had to pick black raspberries. Okay, now Mike said that I have a big house. Yes, I do. And there might be a story for every room in that house, that I may have room for every story that I've told, something like that, he said. There are a lot of rooms in this house, and yes, there's a lot of stories that probably could be told if I went to each room and could tell you a little story in each one that would pertain actually to the room. But I have a lot of cleaning to do. My house is a mess inside as far as I'm concerned. I like big, wide, oh, my husband's looking at me funny. I like big, wide, open spaces. I don't like clutter, but yet I have clutter. And I have to tell you, one time we went on a motorcycle ride. Now, who was the comedian, Jim? Do you remember? It was so long ago, I know. It was about stuff. He was talking about how we gather stuff. And while we were on this motorcycle ride, every time we'd go past something, I'd go, oh, there's some stuff. And there was some good stuff in that stuff. But we've got enough stuff because we have to go home and clean out our stuff. So that was, I don't remember, Carlin or something? What was his first name? I don't know. Something Carlin. So it might come to us as we are talking. Okay, then little Kyle. Hi, Kyle. It's Nonna. And I know what another question somebody asked me. Do my kids call me Nonna? Yes. In fact, I chose Nonna. Nonna is actually grandma for the northern Italy. Now, I'm really Sicilian, so it should have been Nonna. But how many of you know people that are not Italian and they have their grandkids call them Nonna? So I thought, I need to be different. So I decided I would go with the northern Italian name, which is Nonna. So my grandkids call me Nonna. And yes, that means grandma, so Nonna. And then I add part of my name. I have a double first name, but I add part of it because it just feels more comfortable, because I'm so used to being called a double first name. So NonnaGrace works perfect for me. So the kids call me Nonna, and when I refer to myself, I say NonnaGrace. So that's where that came from. Now, Kyle, did you find it? George Carlin is the comedian. It's a really funny thing if you look it up, George Carlin, and then stuff. He talks about stuff. It's really funny. You might enjoy that. I enjoyed it. I've listened to it several times, and that was the one thing. And every time we'd say something on our bike ride, we'd crack up laughing. At least I cracked up laughing. I think my husband did too. We had headsets on so I could hear him and he could hear me in the helmet. So when we were riding, even though we're riding, I can still talk to him. Okay, now back to Kyle. Kyle, are you there, sweetie? Listen, Kyle, I know you were in the bathtub when Nonna was talking. And you said, I recognize that voice. And then you were surprised that Nonna has asparagus. I've had asparagus for over 10 years. I know you go to a farm that's up the road from us, and they sell asparagus, and you and Mommy go and pick asparagus. And it is time for asparagus. Now, on the another one that commented on the asparagus. Hi, Anita. Hi, hello, Anita. I know you thought it strange that the asparagus is growing in this cold weather. Actually, asparagus prefers it cold. When it starts to get too warm, then it will go into where it's starting to go to seed and all that, and it'll make that real furry looking plant and grow, and then you can't eat it. So yes, Anita, it's in the cold weather is the best time for the asparagus. Let's see what else. I've got comments too about my dinner with the steak and the asparagus, that they thought it was maybe expensive. It really wasn't expensive. We buy the meat. We try to buy it when it's really on sale. And sometimes we'll buy a big hunk of meat and then cut it ourselves. You can save so much money on that. So the meal probably for my husband and myself was $10 or less. I'm sure it was less. And the asparagus, because we grow it, that was free. And the Romano cheese I buy, that I spend a lot of money on Romano cheese whenever I buy it, because I'm buying 8 blocks at one time. And a lot of times they think I'm buying it for our church's spaghetti supper. No, I'm buying it for myself. Let's see. Oh, and then back on the asparagus, I wanted to tell you, when you plant asparagus, it takes approximately 3 years for you to start to get any stalks. Well, you will get stalks probably the first year, but they're so skinny. You can eat them, but by the third year, usually the stalks are a good size. They're at least the size of your thumb. And my stalks they're really fat now, and so because they've been in the ground so long. The only downside is when we put the asparagus in, we did not put something down to keep the weeds and the grass away, so it really makes it harder for us to clean around the asparagus. So it's not as clean as it should be there, but it still grows, and it grows good. And we have wire. We have some stainless steel wire that with some posts. I don't know what kind of posts. They're like mailbox posts that people would put their some mailboxes on, or something. What, a fence post? Like a fence post, whatever, something like that. I don't know. All I know is it's a post with hooks on it, and we put the wire around, and this way it holds the asparagus up. Otherwise, it looks like, you know how you would look when you get out of bed and your hair's a mess? That's what it would look like. And so this way it looks like you combed your hair, or combed the asparagus. Okay, and today I went to school. It's my last week at school, and the kids all had put seeds in a little baggie with the paper towel, and the teacher had done theirs. And a few days later, I had done one for myself, because I said, well, I can do one up, and if the kids' seeds don't sprout, you could have my seeds. Well, my seeds sprouted so far that the roots are so tangled that they said, why don't I just take them home and plant them in my garden? So I'm planting them in my pot with my fig tree that I have growing in the house, because I have a fig tree outside, but the season's just not long enough. I get figs on it, but they never get a chance to ripen. So I thought, well, I will just have a fig tree in the house. And so in that fig tree pot, I've now planted potatoes, because I had a potato that was going to seed. So I've cut it up, and I've got some potato growing. And now I'm going to have beans growing in there. That plant has got some company, even though it's supposed to be just the fig tree. So I put that in there. And then I did some sunflower seeds today. I was watching a video, and she was talking about sunflower seeds. And you know, I have sunflower seeds that I got from church. The priest had planted sunflowers, I guess, last season. And he said, if you want some seeds, take them. And so he had them in the back of the church, and so I took a little handful. Then I came home, and I have a sunflower on the windowsill that I've had there for quite a while. The other sunflowers I gave to the chickens, and they pecked them and ate them, and in fact, I had to vacuum up sunflower seeds one time. That was funny. I used the vacuum cleaner outside in the grass to pull up my sunflower seeds that got the wind blew, and they went all over the lawn. I'll have to dig that little video up and insert it somewhere. Not on this one, because this one's getting long enough now, and I don't want to have trouble uploading it. But anyways, I put them in between the paper towel, and I'm going to sprout them, and then I'll put them on that big mound of dirt that was leaves at one time. I'm going to plant them there so that they can grow again. Well, I hope you had a good day, and I will talk to you all again tomorrow. Bye.